Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Live from the Ley Line. This is episode 27, and I'm your host, Cameron Porter. With me, as always, my boy Avery. How you doing?
I am great, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good.
27, huh?
Isn't that crazy?
That's an occult number for sure.
Yeah, dude. That's for people that don't know at home, there's something called the 27 Club,
Hmm.
and a lot of famous artists, people like Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, very influential artists in their time,
Yeah.
die at 27, and there's this theory that it's like a Faustian bargain type thing where you make a deal that you're going to be incredibly famous and influential, and then you die on 27. That's when he
Yep.
gets his soul.
Can't believe I'm blinking the name, but Nirvana guy.
Oh yeah, Kurt Cobain.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. God, we should do a whole episode on that itself because there's a lot there with Courtney Love and
yeah,
how she was most certainly a CIA operative put in there to funnel heroin into the grunge scene up in, I'm pretty sure it was Seattle, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. It's crazy shit.
Oh yeah. But that's not what we're talking about today, folks.
Nah, nah.
I don't even know what we're talking. We're just fucking talking today, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah,
Um yeah, Avery, how have you been since we talked? I know it's been a minute, dude.
yeah. It's probably been a little over a week and
Yeah,
a half or something like that. Good, bro. I was just
good.
out in North Carolina. That's where I recorded from the for the last pod, just
Yep.
chilling with my dad, getting some away time, and
Yeah, buddy.
I'm now about to travel even more. So,
That's exciting. Yeah, where are you
yeah,
going
man.
next?
Hawaii,
Badass.
Honolulu.
Very cool. What's in Honolulu?
We're just gonna do your typical. Well, first of all, my family actually lived in Hawaii for a super short amount of time when my mom was a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
So, we'll be going to see like where she lived and stuff. But other than that, just your basics, lots of beach, lots of ATV, jungle hike type
Yeah,
stuff.
buddy.
Obviously
Yeah,
a
buddy.
luau,
I love it.
all that
Oh, a
good
little
stuff, man.
luau, some
Yeah.
pig.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
talking my language.
What
Very
about you?
cool, man. I've been busy,
Yeah.
honestly. I went on a little vacation up to the valley, visited the old stomping grounds.
Yep.
I mean, we're both cursed by the valley, so we have to return every once in a while.
Yep.
Part of it. I haven't broken the
100%.
curse yet. But it was good, man. Got to see family. Our friends Maggie and her name is Reese. I'm pretty sure they got married.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
yeah, it's. Do you know the Village Smithy in Carbondale? You
Think
ever been
so.
there? It's the owner's daughter that was getting
Okay.
married, and so yeah, Delilah knew people on both sides, and yeah, it was a great wedding.
Heck yeah, weddings are always awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but yeah, we were up there for that, and it was actually a camping wedding, which was cool. You go up and we like set up a little tent. We got hyphy, and then we went and passed out.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Open bar.
Oh yeah. Oh
Nice.
yeah. By the end, I was just rocking whiskey straight, bro,
Yep. Yep.
like a monster. Uh, but yeah, I got to see all sorts of family. Fucking visited Braxton.
Nice, of
Got to do
course.
it. Got to go
Yep.
see the boy. It was very interesting. Avery, do you believe in synchronicity?
Yeah.
So while we were up there, you know how there's like a bunch of bee symbolism all over his grave.
Yeah.
Somebody like painted a little bee, and there's just a lot of that stuff going on. We were up there, and I was having a beer. We were smoking a blunt for the boy, and a bee landed right on my beer,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Hey, oh shit, I'm afraid of bees." But then
Yeah, me too.
Delilah was like, "Oh, whoa," and she like noticed it and was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
wow!" And she like pointed at the bee, and then pointed at the little rock painted like a bee, and I was like, "Oh shit."
That's
And then
awesome.
it wouldn't leave us alone. This bee was just fucking hounding us.
That
I was
is
like,
funny, dude.
finally, I just poured a little beer out for the bee. I was like, here you go, buddy.
I know. It sucks that that has to be the representation because I hate
I
bees.
hate bees so bad, but
Not honeybees, obviously they're awesome, but I
no,
hate
honeybees are sweet.
wasps. I hate anything that wants to sting you for no reason.
Me too. And I think that's what this was. I couldn't tell. It didn't look like a honeybee. It looked
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
Looked like it was coming for blood.
But yeah, that's so funny that you realize that because right after he passed, I went to Maine on vacation and I just remember being like really shitty and just mean and kind of lashing out to my family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so we're like in a fight in the car on the way to the river, and it was you know, I was of course blaming that to be an asshole and stuff. And
Right.
so I get out of the car fresh off of fighting about that. And the second I step out of a car, a bee flies and hits me right in the face and stings me. And I was like, okay, I hear you, kid. I'll knock it
Damn.
off.
Bees like smacking you from heaven.
So that's funny that you had a similar experience.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
very cool. And afterwards, so we left the grave and we went to my dad's house up in Gypsum. And so it
Yeah.
was a long ass drive. And we got there, and as I'm pulling up into the driveway, I'm going to roll the window up and I look over and there's a bee sitting on my little rear view mirror
Yeah.
outside the car. And I was like, how long have you been coming with us, buddy?
Yeah.
Like I just took this dude on a cross country drive.
Literally.
But it was just that was like some confirmation. I was like, and as soon as I saw it, it got up and flew away. I was like, oh wow.
Weird, bro. It
Wow.
was
It just
just
gave me
confirming.
chills.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I thought that was cool. I wanted to share that on the pod.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah,
Tell me about this new job opportunity.
dude, yes. So at the end of October, I'm doing sober October
Oh, okay.
because I got to pass a little pissy test at the
Uh-huh.
end.
Uh-huh.
Um, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing it's excavating and like dirt moving work.
Yeah.
But it's this guy that I play pool with, and he like I was just complaining about my job to him and his wife, and he was like, "If you're ever looking for a job," he's like, "I'll start you at 25." I was like, "What?
Damn.
Okay,
Hell
bet."
yeah.
And so yeah, I'm gonna go do that, see how it's going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, dude. The company that I work for, I really do like the company. And oh, excuse me. I like the work that we do, or that I do. It gives me good exercise, and the freedom is nice. I don't have to listen to anybody all day. I just
Yeah.
put in a podcast, I get on the route, and I fucking focus.
Yeah.
Which is when I thrive the best. I feel like when I can just put my head down and get to the grind.
Yeah.
But they have just the rules have been getting more and more strict. They've been changing policies left and right, and lately they've been playing around with our money
Yeah.
based on these like rules that they're putting in. If you're not meeting all the rules, you're not going to be getting the full hours that you're supposed to be getting. And
Gotcha.
so it's like it's not feasible anymore. You know, you have to like really toe the line and be a good boy, and then you
Yeah.
get your money, which is I don't know. I'm not a bad boy, but I'm not good at being a good boy either.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
so we'll be switching it up. Like it's going to be a change of pace for sure. I have to be up by like 4:30 in the morning every day,
Yeah.
but I'm okay with it.
Cool, bro. That's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
not that you're not already, but it'll be good to get some nice manual labor in and
Goddamn right. Yeah,
like
this will be
manual
some
labor and
serious manual labor.
get some discipline and getting up and stuff. I need a little bit of
Exactly.
that for
Dude,
sure.
it's I do too, probably. It's probably the best thing for me.
Right.
It's
Oh,
gonna
it's
be tough
exciting though.
though.
You gonna man the excavators, learn
Yeah.
how to
So
do
I
that
think
type of stuff.
exactly. I think that's what we're gonna work towards. Of course, I'm gonna be a guy with some boots and a shovel at first,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then I'll probably work my way up. Um, but I'm excited. It's one of those companies that you can take the skills that you get with you as well. Like I can be
Yeah.
like, hey, so I've driven this machine and this machine and this machine. I'm proficient with all
Exactly.
of these. And then they're like, oh, really? All right, we're hiring you.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, I'm excited for that.
So are you cutting out alcohol too or just
Yeah.
marijuana? Yeah, you're gonna go completely.
Yep. Yeah, this is my
Nice, dude.
third day, third full day. It's tough.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
First week is the hardest, I'm sure.
Your
Once I
brain will
break
thank
that,
you.
oh, I
Yeah.
know it. I can already feel the fog lifting. I was in a blunt fog for like the last 2 months.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
happens like that.
Cool, bro.
But
Big
yeah,
things, big things.
exactly. Big change. The schedule's going to change. Probably won't be recording on Wednesdays anymore
Yeah.
unless we do it in the evening. Might have to switch to like a weekend record schedule.
Yeah. Which is
But
fine.
yeah, I'm excited for it though, folks. Big things coming.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then that means daddy's going to have a little more scratch in his pocket. We maybe get
Uh-huh.
some mics. Shit.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, that's what's been going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, let that be a message to the listeners.
Yes.
Big times, big change, big
Big
changes.
changes. Time to embrace the big changes.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I haven't experienced this too much in the past because the changes haven't been so drastic, but I have been really resisting this like job switch for some reason. Like I keep trying to find reasons why I like my job still. And
Yeah.
but then I remember like, okay, but 25 an hour, buddy, plus 50 hours a week. usually.
Yeah,
It's about that. So it's like 10 hours of overtime every week, 25 an hour. It's fat money, bro.
that is.
Crazy fat money. It's a serious raise on top of what I've been making. I think I only make like 36,000 a year.
Yeah.
Which you know what a surprising number is? That's still the 1% of the world. Did you know that?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Blows my mind.
Ugh, it's sickening.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
And then we have the audacity to say, but even still, it's like, I don't know, there's just levels to this shit. Even the
Yeah.
1% still feel disparaged like the rest of the 99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very cool, bro.
Yeah.
Let me intro glide transition into this.
Yeah.
I for some reason when you said Tartaria, which is what we're gonna talk about for a second,
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were talking about what they called the landmass that was the Earth before it all separated and created the continents.
Yeah.
That's a different word, same topic kinda.
Yeah, I think they called that Pangea. I called it
Yeah.
Europa in our little talk before, but that's not what
No,
that is.
that's it. Yeah, Pangea.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's cool. We can kind of go into like inner Earth and hollow Earth and stuff like that
Yes.
too, which we've kind of tapped a
Absolutely.
little bit before. But let's start with the simple. This is really cool. Tartaria. You want to take
Yes.
it away?
Yes, dude. So
Yeah.
Tartaria is very interesting. I'm not extremely versed in this. I need to do a little more. And honestly, there's so much information on the topic that it's hard to get the whole picture of it. But
Totally.
essentially, Tartaria was a kingdom back in the day. And it was you can look it up on Google. If you look it up on your actually, you know what, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna share screen and I'm gonna look it up
Okay.
and just show people where it would have been. So Tartaria, check it out. I don't know if that's showing up too well.
I think it should be.
God, and they're all old maps, so it looks like a toddler drew it. There we go. That's the best one, I think. Oh, good Lord. Boom.
Nice.
Okay, so look, we've got it. It literally spanned all of what Russia is,
Yeah.
all of it. And then you've got India, China, Persia,
Hmm.
and then all of this, the Eastern, like basically from like, I don't even know. This is like getting into like Ukraine territory. Yeah. But the interesting thing for me, the compelling part about Tartaria is that I didn't learn about Tartaria in history class. They
Yeah.
didn't teach me about that in the maps. And maybe it's because they didn't go that far back. Maybe they were just looking at like because most of what history is comprised of is the wars. They're not looking at like what happened to get here and different advancements. They're looking at wars that happened through different periods, and they're
Hmm.
looking at the Crusades. Um, but I think Tartaria was like one of the biggest kingdoms and the most advanced kingdoms in the world. For the
Yeah.
longest time, it was a superpower, and they were just north of the Khazarians, who are a lot of people believe this is like who have hijacked the Jewish faith,
Okay.
and that Judaism as it was originated doesn't really exist anymore. That it's been worn like a cowl by these Khazarians to protect them from the Tartarians because they were eating babies and shit.
Right.
and
Totally.
and one of the interesting things about Tartaria is that I feel like it's still going on. I think it's still a kingdom, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's happening right now with Russia and Ukraine. It's Tartarians versus Khazarians.
Hmm.
It's these Molochians holding fast to this area in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm pretty sure is Kiev. That's in Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
That was the Khazarian like hub.
Yeah.
That was their like main town. Was there in Kiev. I don't know if that's what it was called back then, but um, during those days, the king of Tartaria came down and saw what these people were doing, and he was like, "Holy shit!
Yeah.
You're eating babies. You're sacrificing people. You can't do this shit." And
Yeah.
the king said, "Hey, look, you either need to be Christian, you need to be Muslim, or you need to be Jewish.
Yeah.
when I get back, or I'm killing all of you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna exterminate you. And so what they did is they took up the Jewish faith. And I think that's where a lot of this like anti like Semitic shit comes from.
Yeah.
And that's like the root of a lot of it is because it's not they don't hate Jews, man. It's not the
Yeah.
Jewish people. It's that it's been hijacked by these dark art, evil, occultist, fucking baby eaters,
Yeah.
like evil sorcerers, you
Yeah.
know. But I don't know. It's just so compelling. And then you see
Oh,
what's going on right now.
I'm absolutely positive that there's still something alive with that because everything with the elites comes down to bloodlines.
Yep.
They're super obsessed with bloodlines, and so with a country like Russia and Ukraine, with how strong and precise their government is, it's always a dictator and it's always of the same family. They pick and
Yep.
choose who's in office.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they're trying to preserve some kind of ancient custom, you
Yes.
know. So
Yes.
it's just like how our elites go out in the forest and worship Moloch. I'm
Right.
sure they behind closed doors probably put on their cloaks and refer to each other as Tartarian brothers, you know?
Right.
Like
Right. Which is
but no.
it's so weird to think about.
Yeah. And so I liked what you said earlier, like this is totally out there conspiracy, but like maybe part of the conflict right now in the war is some of that, you know?
Yes.
I liked how you
Yes.
said that. It's interesting.
Because it well and it like yeah, it just makes you think a little bit. I don't know if that is what it is, but it's
Yeah.
very compelling to think about because when you do research about these feuds back in the day, it's literally Russia versus Ukraine, but there's
Yeah.
different names.
Yeah.
And this is like a thousands of years of war. It's just like
Yeah.
the Middle East. It's like it's never been peaceful.
Right.
Never has been.
Oh man, that shit goes so deep too.
Yes. Yes. It's yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah.
It's always in these like centers of origination,
Hmm.
you know, that there's just constant conflict. It's like the Fertile Crescent where humans arrived,
Yeah.
never been peaceful
Right.
for a day, you know, regardless of what the military will have you think, it's never been peaceful.
No, no.
um,
Cool stuff. Cool
but
stuff.
yeah, yeah, I thought that was mind blowing. And then there's these, I haven't done much research into it, and it doesn't like make my conspiracy brain go off too much. It doesn't like get me excited like the Freemasons do, but they talk about, you ever heard the mud flood theory?
No.
So there's theories that the Tartarians were extremely advanced and they were traveling all over and building big architectural pieces.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, John Levy or Levi, um, spelled Levi.
Hmm.
And he has a beautiful YouTube channel and he breaks down different ancient architecture in the United States. And he's like, one of the biggest points that he makes is like, they say that this was built in 1873 and that they built it in 1 year.
Wow.
This big ass cathedral, this big ass castle. They say it was built in 1 year in 1873.
Yeah.
And there's people that can't even repair it today. Like
Right.
it's this architecture where they'll get everybody in the town together and they're like, does anybody know how to fix this? And nobody does.
I have seen stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it wasn't built by them.
No.
It was left for them, just like the pyramids.
Yeah.
And but there's this theory that they flooded the earth with mud and covered up this architecture as like a ploy to like it's part of what the Great Reset is they
Yeah.
used that to reset everything and wipe the slate.
So I've seen stuff that ties into that kind of where it's like they're discovering some buildings and ancient cathedrals like you're mentioning and stuff where when they excavate and take out the roads and stuff to repair stuff, they see that the building actually extends way lower into the ground.
Yep.
And it's not like a basement, it's like windows and
Yes.
doors. And
Yes.
so it's like, whoa, like what was going in there?
Well, and
You
you
know?
can find that in a lot of cities in America. Like it
Yeah.
you see these buildings where like there's like a window half on the ground and you're like,
Yeah.
why is that window there?
Right.
And I think it's very compelling.
Hmm.
It's very compelling. But yeah, there's that theory that part of the Great Reset was them flooding the earth to hide this architecture.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
It's
I don't
cool.
know how much like I said, I need to do more research into it because it doesn't get my hackles up like some other
Yeah.
things do, but it's interesting, very compelling. Eddie Bravo is like balls deep into Tartaria.
Yeah.
He loves the Tartaria theories.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it just goes to show how mucked up and crazy our history truly is compared to what we
absolutely.
learn.
I know.
Ugh.
When they try to boil it down and give us like a nice little here, this is what it is. This is all of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no way. There's no way you have all of it.
No.
Even the people that were writing the Bible probably didn't have all of it,
No, absolutely not.
you know? Um, it's just so compelling. I
Yeah.
think and when you realize that your media has lied to you, once you take that first step and you're like, "Oh, the news is lying." And then you say, well, what else is lying? Probably history, right?
Yeah.
If the news lies, history's got to lie.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it? And I just think that's so weird.
Oh yeah.
Winners always write history. That's the other thing too.
Exactly.
You don't hear the
Yep.
loser side of the story.
Nope.
Yeah,
Uh
it's compelling. But I want to go a little bit more into the Russia-Ukraine dispute as well because
yeah.
I've got some strong opinions about it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think we're supporting the right side.
No.
I think we're supporting Nazis,
Yeah.
literal Nazis in
Yep.
Ukraine. We're supporting them against
Sure.
Russia.
Yeah, sure. I can do a quick rundown on that.
Yeah, please do.
Um, yeah, Ukraine is one of the hubs of the entire world for money embezzlement and corruption.
Mhm.
First of all,
It's a money
throw that
laundering
out
pit.
there. Um, Freaking, what's it called? Uh, the US has been pushing, what's the collaboration for the UN?
NATO?
NATO. So Russia has warned the US and the Ukraine time and time again that they're sick and tired of NATO putting forces and creating threats around their borders.
Right.
And first of all, we have no business being in NATO in the first place. Like, why? But
Yeah.
so we kept on poking the bear and poking the bear and flooding their their borders with more and more military bases.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Putin said, "Stop it," and he's just retaliating. Now that doesn't mean that what he did was right, bombing and killing innocent people whatsoever.
Right.
But why are we flooding billions into Ukraine?
I
It
think there's
makes
a point to be
no
made that
sense.
that's what caused it. You can say, yeah, Putin did bad, but what like it's just like in a fight,
Yeah.
it's like the old joke, like, you know, they say like, "Oh, why'd you hit your wife? Did she burn dinner?" It's like one of those things. It's like,
Yeah.
what did we do to get attacked like that? And we're not
Right.
the ones getting attacked. That's the saddest part is it's Ukraine getting fucking stomped on right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not really. I mean, there's so much money coming in from NATO and the United States to Ukraine that they're
Yeah.
actually able to kind of fend off the Russian military, which is impressive.
I know.
But wait till fucking winter comes, baby.
Yeah.
Wait till that ground freezes and those tanks don't need to use the roads anymore.
Yeah. But no,
Because
I love I can't remember who made the analogy, but it's like what would the US do if enemy countries were coming to our borders and setting up military bases? I don't
oh,
think we would be cool with that.
we would mushroom stamp them.
So yeah, it's just I don't want to speak too much on like who's right or wrong in the situation. My point is why are we flooding them with tax dollars?
Right.
We have no involvement. Why? It's crazy.
I heard an interesting figure. It would only take 5 billion, and I say only
Yeah.
generously. That's a
Right.
lot of money, but it would only take 5 billion to rebuild all the houses that burned down in Maui.
Yeah.
We accidentally allocated an extra 6 billion for aid to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Accidentally, we're like, oops,
Yeah.
6 billion over. We'll roll that over into the next one.
Oh, that shit's crazy, man. I saw a thing where they're only giving families who were affected by that like a several $100s.
Yep. Yeah, I think it
It's
was like
like,
700 bucks. That's fucking chump change. $700 doesn't even cover my rent.
right.
Doesn't make any sense, man.
Same. Yeah.
It's just, well, I mean, it does make sense when you realize that they don't care about you.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But when
Yep.
people have this illusion that the government is there for their protection and their help, it's there to
Yeah.
help them, it's absolutely not the case.
Yeah. And
You're
I do feel like we are still at we're still being threatened and we're not out in the clear yet, as though it may seem like for nukes to get involved.
oh, I know.
Putin's a crazy motherfucker.
He is. And dude, who's to say that a crazy motherfucker like that at the end of his life isn't like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I hope they don't hit fuck it. I really do.
No, me neither.
God. That's a terrifying place to be, dude. All our lives are in the hands of these literal psychopaths.
Oh yeah.
Psychopaths. With no moral, well, maybe they do have a moral compass, but it's certainly not aligned with ours,
Yeah.
you know. But
So yeah,
so
there's that.
yes. Well,
I
and
don't support that war whatsoever.
well, and
Sorry.
you shouldn't. Nobody
Yeah.
should. I think it's so weird to see people flying the fucking Ukraine flag.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what I love to do when I see people flying that flag, I just like to start a conversation with them, start a dialogue.
Yeah.
Why do you support? What's going on?
Yeah.
You know what's going on in the war? Have you heard of the Geneva Convention? You remember when fucking Germany reunified?
Yep.
Remember that Russia said don't have any fucking troops by our border
Yep.
and everything will be fine? That was like the biggest point they made.
Yep.
And you made that point. It's like they said you're not like do whatever you want. And that's when NATO was created, was during the reunification of Germany. When that wall came down. And Russia was like, that's fine. You can reunify as long as no military force is ever on our border.
Yep.
That's reasonable.
Yep.
It's pretty reasonable to say.
And what
It's
did
like telling your neighbor.
They built him all around the country, all around
Yes.
it.
Literally. Like basically poking a bear. You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's so interesting to hear people saying that like Putin is the one acting out of pocket. It's like, dude, we were the ones that put military bases in Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're the ones trying to get Ukraine to join NATO.
Yep.
Like it's not Russia's fault.
Yeah.
And Russia was clear. You know? It's like if your dad tells you not to take the car and then you take the car and then you're surprised your dad is mad at you when you get back.
Right.
Like, why? What?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me, man. It's so weird.
Right.
We're in a weird spot too where these useless idiots. I would say useful, but they're useless.
Yeah.
They don't have any opinion about anything other than what the Kardashians' butthole color is.
Right.
And they're not focused on real world politics. It's so frustrating. I find myself identifying with, remember that who's the small Smith, Will Smith's son? What's his son's name?
Jaden?
Is it Jaden?
Yeah, I think so.
You remember that meme where he was like, oh my God, can we like talk about the state of the world for a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
he's a goofball, bro.
I used to think he was so whiny for saying something like that, but then I realized, like, dude, he's probably just fed up with all these idiots.
Yeah.
Who, first of all, don't do any of their own research. Don't really know what's going on in this conflict.
Yep.
Like, probably couldn't even point out Ukraine on the goddamn map.
Yep.
Yet they have an opinion about the war and they fly the Ukraine flag.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's Nazi shit, bro. It's literal Nazi behavior.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. But at the end of the day, all we can have is compassion for these poor people because it's not their fault that they're being brainwashed.
It has nothing to do with the citizens. Yeah.
No, it's not their fault. They're being brainwashed. But it's sad to see.
Yeah.
It's sad to see people. It's just like you remember that SpongeBob movie where everybody's got the bucket over their head?
Yeah.
And then there's like Squidward who doesn't have the bucket and he just sees how evil the world is. Yep. And everybody's just walking back and forth, eating their burgers, building monuments.
Yep. They love to put shit like that in cartoons.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about that.
Fucking it's good stuff. Good stuff.
I just hope the conflict doesn't like extend into World War III because I think that's what we're looking at right now.
100%.
We're seeing countries like China and Saudi Arabia joining forces with Russia.
Yeah.
And they're taking oil off the US dollar. it really seems like everybody's posturing for a
Yeah.
war, which is
Well, yeah.
terrifying.
Trump says that we're actually scarily close to World War III, and no one's talking about it. Yeah.
Well, it's because they're probably pushing for World War III. They want to destroy the United States. These
Yeah.
globalists don't want the United States to be a thing anymore. The pesky fucking Constitution is
Uh-huh.
right in their way. They want to get rid of that thing by any means necessary. That's why, and I hate to throw around Trump and Biden and this and that because I get so annoyed with people like, well, Trump's the worst thing for the country. No, Biden's the worst thing for the country.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think they're both bad in different ways.
Yeah.
But I think Biden doesn't care about your country. That's the main focus that
No.
you need to have is like as out of pocket as he is and as dumb as he might be, Trump cares and he's patriotic.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can call it whatever it is. I think he cares about the economy and he cares about the citizens.
Yeah.
Biden obviously does not.
No.
And it's all about the destruction of order. Did you see the people on the Senate floor wearing fucking hoodies and sweatpants?
Yes, bro.
Dude, I don't even go to the grocery store like that.
No, no.
You
Dude,
can't do that.
you just reminded me. I wanted to say the crisis that you mentioned to me quite a while back. You probably don't even remember, but about the illegal immigration
Yeah,
is insane right now.
I know.
Insane. I love how the governor of Texas was so fed up with it that he like started filling up buses and just sending refugees to New York and other liberal states that are, basically imposing their will on him. So he
Right.
just started sending them to New York, and the governor of New York declared a national emergency because of it. It's like, yeah,
Because
what
there's
do you
so many
expect?
people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that? There was this guy that was going around because there was a bunch of protesting happening to let the immigrants in.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of these people saying, yeah, let them in, let them in. And then there was this guy going around with a mic, like doing like social media interview type shit.
And he's like, "Would you let him stay with you?" Was
Yep,
it that
yep,
one? Yeah.
yeah. And they're like, well,
No, I don't have
if
the
I
room.
had, yeah, exactly. And by the end of it, he was like, oh, if you had the room, okay, sweetie, okay. And
Yeah.
like he's just condescending these fucking clowns,
Oh, I
these
love
people
it.
with double standards.
Yep.
Seriously, it doesn't. That's what's wrong with this world right now. Is there's a generation of people growing up who have never faced any sort of hardship.
Yep.
They have to create their own hardship in their life by finding things with no goalpost, no fucking goal line,
Yep.
like racism. Let's fight racism. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, where does that stop? How can we actually fight it? Or are you gonna fucking fight a windmill all day?
Yeah.
It doesn't make it doesn't make any sense.
That's great.
And they're doing that with everything. It's like that's what's happening with the trans movement. It's like, okay, yes, you support it. How far does it go?
Yeah.
Is there ever a goal for the support, or you're just supporting? And I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, man.
The funniest thing going around on Twitter right now is this post. It's like a quoted tweet, if you know what that looks like. And it's a tweet and it says that Florida has officially passed a bill that says pedophiles or anyone who commits sexual assault on a child is going to automatically get the death penalty.
Amen.
And some activists quoted that tweet and said, I don't think people realize how many queer and trans people are going to be, falsely killed because of this. And so,
Falsely.
yeah. And so
Mm.
another account quoted that tweet and said, "So are you admitting that queer and trans people need to stop raping kids?" It's like, whoopsies.
Got him.
Why? Why does that have, what's going to happen to them?
Yeah.
Maybe they need to stop.
Well, and why is that what the hell? Why are you even talking about that? It's
Yeah.
If that really is the case, it's best to keep your fucking mouth shut in a position
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Yeah.
good Lord.
Oh, it's
See,
awesome.
that's my biggest problem with that whole fucking with the whole rainbow shit going on right now is
Yeah.
that it's being attached to every social issue.
Yeah.
Literally, you can't say much about anything anymore without it being labeled as like, rainbow bigotry,
Yep.
which is completely like the opposite of what we should be working towards. When
Yep.
you see a group that you can't criticize, you see an enemy. That's who I see.
Yeah.
And that's what you find with the LGBTQ community. There's no criticizing them at all.
Yeah.
Even justified criticisms are thrown out because it's bigotry.
Well, I just love what my dad says. It's like at the end of the day, I will go out and fight for your freedom to go behind closed doors and hump whoever you want.
Yep.
Why do you have to
Amen.
go and teach children about it?
Why? For God's
It's
sakes.
just crazy, dude.
I know. Did you hear about that teacher? I saw it on Facebook or Twitter or something. It's I'm pretty sure it's a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah,
And they looked untrustworthy. I would not
yeah.
let them babysit my fucking kid.
We know what they look like, yeah.
We know, yeah, we all have an image in our head.
Yeah,
And they were teaching kids to be gay.
yeah,
She said she wanted her students to grow up gay.
yeah.
Bare hand strangle, bro.
Enough said, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing that's happening. And I have to tread so lightly because it really is one of those things where you can't say anything about it.
Yep,
If you say the wrong thing, you're fucking done.
yep.
You're done. Your whole opinion's
Crazy.
thrown out. And so you just have to be very clear with it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's scary. There, I don't want to like disclose too much on the pod, but I want to tell this story. I'm going to leave
Yeah.
out names and change locations.
Okay.
But there was this 18-year-old that me and my girlfriend know in Glenwood. And she worked with this person, this woman who I don't know how to say this right, man. I don't want to be mean or incriminating or
Yeah.
or blast anybody unnecessarily. This person was a trans person, and they were a biological male, and they were 30 years old. And the person we knew worked with them, and they would go over to their house and other coworkers of hers would go over there, 18-year-olds, and be in my opinion, in the presence of a fucking predator.
Yeah.
They were not trying to pretend to be anything other than the man they are. They just say that they're trans. And this is the scariest part. And I want people to understand this. And I don't want it to get that this is nothing against trans people. I think if you have body and gender dysphoria,
Dysmorphia,
Jesus, that dude, please seek help. I'll help you myself if there's any way I can.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to be hateful or unaccepting or unaffirming, but at the end of the day, what's happening, and it's men that are the problem. Let's be clear.
Of course.
It's these predatory men who want in the fucking women's bathroom, and they want to be in these positions with women that they would never otherwise have the opportunity to be in.
Yep.
Like, why do you think they're pushing so hard to be in the women's bathroom with your daughter?
Yeah.
You don't hear any trans men trying to get into the men's room.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me, man.
Yep.
I mean, it does make sense, but I have to say that so that
So 18-year-old girls would go and hang out with this person.
This 30-year-old predator, in my opinion.
Did anything come of that or no?
No.
Okay.
No. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my girlfriend just had a discussion with them. I was like, hey, dude, you need to be careful. And just kind of put into perspective, because it was, you know what it was? It was a progressive coffee company they all worked at.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody knows much about progressive coffee companies, but it's kind of their MO to jump on whatever social thing's going on.
Exactly.
And so I think everybody there was afraid of being unaccepting. And that fear was used against them, buddy.
Creepy.
It fucking creeps me out, bro.
Creepy shit.
Creeps me out. We're just in weird times, man. We're in really weird times.
Oh, yeah.
And it scares me. I have a daughter, dude.
Yeah.
I have a daughter, and she's going to be growing up in this climate. And
Sucks.
It is terrifying. I don't know how I'm going to have that conversation with her when she's old enough. And because in a lot of ways, what people do when they have that conversation is they push their kid the other way.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You just have to be really careful.
I'm literally homeschooling until high school and letting them choose if they want to go have a high school experience or not.
Yep.
I'm not
As
fucking around with
which
it,
is the
dude.
best way to do it. I think it's awesome what your parents did, throwing
Yeah,
you in at middle school,
yeah,
and I'm sure you still did sports and shit.
yeah,
It's like you were socialized,
yeah.
but you weren't indoctrinated,
Nope.
which is so important. I've had to do a lot of like unlearning from all
Yeah,
the shit, but also I was always such a rebellious kid
yeah.
that all the shit that they would tell me would still kind of beat off my back a little
Mhm.
bit. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, okay,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, but
I remember those classes. Oh yeah.
yeah. But then if you're a kid like that, that's what the whole school system is it's built to make kids that agree and follow rules.
Yeah.
You want agreeable, rule following people. And I was neither of those things more often than not. And I was blasted for it. Always in the principal's office, always in the hallway, always
Yep.
being called out and embarrassed in front of the class for having an opinion about things. And I think it's a concerted effort to fucking beat that creativity and that free will out of you,
Yeah.
make you into a good factory worker.
Exactly. Like we talked about
Yep.
before. That's just the whole point of the system.
Yeah. It's evil, dude. It's fucking evil.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, Avery?
Rebellion, full revolution again, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Like I've stated before, I don't think there's any reform possible at this point.
I think the claws are in so deep
Yep.
that there's almost like checks and balances against getting it voted out now. It's like
Yeah.
you just have to burn.
Yep.
You got to burn some shit down and rebuild it.
Like literally just eradicate it all and then start
Hmm.
from scratch.
But
Fuck
that's
it.
the scariest part because man, what happens if the Constitution ends up getting ripped up or something?
Yeah.
It's like something like that, which is what I think could totally happen. Like, say there's a revolution happening, and say there's actual war in DC, and then these people, these globalists, who their whole goal is to get rid of the Constitution,
Yeah.
they pose as revolutionaries and they run in and burn down the building that carries the Constitution
Right.
and burn the Constitution with it. And it looks like the
Well,
revolutionaries did it, but then now there's no Constitution to go off of.
well, yeah. See, it would have to be based on the Constitution, and if they
Yeah,
did that, it would suck historically. But like everyone should have a copy of the Constitution in their pocket.
right,
So
right.
I think that's okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
exactly, it would have to be based off of that. We wouldn't create a new one. The one in place is perfect. We just don't
right.
follow it.
Exactly. Well, there's been rules put into place that supersede it,
Yep.
which is not allowed, but it's allowed somehow.
Yeah.
Man, I listened to this podcast with this. It's the one I sent you.
Yeah.
The hell was that guy's name? It was a podcast about basically exiting the corporation of the United States, and he was just breaking down how the U.S. is a corporation.
Yep. It is.
The hell's Brandon Joe Williams is
Yep.
his name. Um, his Instagram handle is one dumb fuck.
I've seen that guy. Yeah.
It cracks me up, dude. Cracks me up. But he was basically making the point that like you need to understand your constitution and all your amendments thoroughly
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because they're being used against you in these sinister ways, and like not used against you, but your ignorance on these are being used against you.
Yep.
When you really know your rights and you know what the amendments are, you start to realize like, wow, they're going against this shit.
Yep.
Or you realize like, oh, there's a loophole. Like I can get out of this. The main point of his whole podcast that he did with Sam Tripoli was he was explaining how income tax only applies to people who claim that they live within the District of Columbia,
Yeah.
which is DC, which is this company that these dudes created.
Yep.
And then each state of California, state of Colorado, those are all separate branches of this corporation. And that's what these governors are. They're CEOs of corporations.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized I was like, holy shit. And you naturalize into these, which is like you essentially like claim that you live here, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be a location. You just have to say you live here. And he was saying that you can create your own nation and that
Damn.
you can emancipate, or not emancipate, but you just like resign your citizenship of the United States. You say, I'm revoking this. I've never lived in District of Columbia. I never will.
Yeah.
I live here. And then you write down the one that you've created and you have to go through the process of doing it. But then he said that there's no real acceptance process. They just say, okay, application processed.
Right.
Here you go. And now you don't have to pay any sort of federal income tax because you are not working for this tax farm anymore. Of course, you have to pay state tax and land
Yeah.
property owning tax, but income tax is the biggest one. 50% in some places.
That is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I gotta look into that.
Yes, dude. I'm gonna have to listen to it again and
Yeah.
maybe a third time because it was so compelling. And if it's legit, I'm gonna start a nation and we're joining it
Yeah, I
together.
was gonna say, yeah.
We're gonna be
I'm
in a nation of our own.
I'm immediately starting A-Town Nation.
A town. I love it. Oh, I love it. Mine will be called the Christian Magician Coalition.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Get
everybody's
spaghetti with it.
everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
I don't care what you're down with. You just got to be nice,
Yep.
kind to people. No child sacrifice.
Yeah, please.
um, but yeah, I just thought that was so compelling, and he seemed so smart, and he was like explaining all the different definitions of words in these rules that they've made, and
Yeah.
he's basically like, I don't know, he was just breaking it down beautifully. I'm regurgitating it like a mouth breather here, but
Whatever.
doing my best.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's awesome.
that podcast is seriously one of the best sources for me. I get so much information off Tinfoil Hat.
Yeah.
I really do. They give me so much inspiration, show me things that I would never have thought about. I was just listening to one about Elvis Presley being an occult magician,
Oh yeah.
that he's like an occult mystic. And I never really looked into Elvis, I guess, but it was so interesting to hear all these points that they were making. Like he was a follower of Madame Blavatsky,
Mm-hmm.
and he read Manly P. Hall, very versed in both of these writers, and he was like very much into the idea of ascended masters. And I feel like he probably became an ascended master. I think he
Yep.
found out about that, and he was like, oh yeah, I want to be one of those.
Yeah.
you know it's so compelling, very interesting stuff, and the kind of hypnosis he would put on these women. They would faint and piss themselves.
That's true. That is true.
He was an occultist, bro,
Yeah.
for sure. But it's just, I digress. The point is that podcast is fantastic. People need to check it
Yeah.
out,
Absolutely.
and your boy and I are going to be on there one day.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we just got to be versed in something well enough. I don't think I'm an expert in anything yet to
Right.
like to earn any sort of tinfoil hat spotlight.
Totally.
But yeah, there's just so much you could go into. Freemasons, I think, is my passion for it. I think I got to go balls deep into the Freemasons.
Yeah.
And another one that I think is compelling is NORAD. I want to look more into NORAD
Okay.
because I live right there,
Yeah.
right at the base of the mountain of NORAD, dude.
Yeah.
And they've got to be doing some shit, weather manipulation. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a reason Tesla came here to the Springs.
Yep.
Like there's something going on right here
100%.
that people are tapped into that we need to fucking figure out. Yeah, it's so weird, bro. The world's so interesting,
Yeah.
and it breaks my heart because not a lot of people think about stuff like this.
Hell
Pe-
no.
People would write this off like fucking stoner thoughts, stoner talk.
Yeah, most people just fucking are more worried about, getting their McDonald's and watching football.
I was gonna say they're more worried about the
And I fucking love
Dolphins.
football and
Yeah,
McDonald's, but
right. But
people don't
you
even.
recognize that that's not the most important thing in life, and that's,
Yeah.
I think, a lot of people, that's what they put on the pedestal. It's like they
Yeah.
literally can't wait till football season, and then
Yeah.
when football season's over, roll it right into baseball.
Yep.
And they're watching hockey, and it's just like it's bread and circus for these fucking people.
Yep.
That's what I think of sports. When I heard that quote that like, give them bread and circus and they'll never revolt, I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Exactly.
I got offended. I was like, fuck you, I'm revolting.
Yep. That is
Uh,
like literally what's going on.
yeah. Yeah. Did you know that during the fall of the Roman Empire, they actually had more circuses and like, yeah, just more circuses all over the place.
Yeah.
They were like sending them out, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't worry. Nothing's
Makes sense.
happening.
Yeah. Trying to stop the bleeding a little bit.
Right. Well, and that's what makes me think about, or that's what it makes me think about when I see things like like 15 new shows that show up on Netflix and 10 new shows on Hulu, and a new streaming service just opened up, and there's a new fast food place opening up, and
Yep.
oh, this sports team's switching over to here, and this guy's going over there, and
Yep.
it's all such a big distraction.
All about, finding new ways to please the consumer
Yeah.
and get more and more.
I wish they would just not pussyfoot and do a goddamn coliseum. I want to see a lion maul a dude.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to
Fuck
see
it.
giraffes and hippos fight off
Yeah.
one lion. See how he does.
They really need to end the age-old question of a bear versus a gorilla.
Oh,
They
bro,
gotta put that up.
who you got?
I mean, you gotta be logical. It's a grizzly bear, bro.
You think?
Because I love when people break it down. It's like when you really think about it, the way gorillas fight, it's not gonna use its strength to rip apart its limbs.
Right.
It's gonna try and run into it and
It's gonna pound it. Yeah.
A grizzly bear is a trained killer.
It's gonna go for the jugular.
It's gonna go for the jugular. It's gonna be swiping at that thing, and they're amazing at wrestling.
That's a good point.
So,
Their clinch is filthy.
Yeah. When you look at the accolades, you're like, yeah, you think a gorilla would because of their freaking fangs and
right.
They're like a human. But like when you watch them fight, it's very weird. They don't utilize any of their stuff. They're dumb.
That's a good point. They don't use it right.
I think a grizzly would push that thing, take its back, and just rip into it, dude. I do. I think so.
Oh, Lord. I think the only way that a gorilla could get the grizzly is if during that first charge, it manages to knock it over.
Yeah.
Because if it gets one good pound right on the chest cavity of that bear, it's fucked.
That's
like
fair.
Those are bone crushing capabilities.
That's fair. Or even if it's smart enough to just hit it on top of this like neck.
Yes. Yeah, maybe when the bear, because the bear might go for a double under.
Yeah.
Take down right on the back, crack a couple ribs.
That's fair. You know what? It might be a better fight than most people think.
Let's get it going. I'm gonna get in the ear of the bear. You get a gorilla.
Okay.
We'll talk to Joe Rogan. He'll fucking commentate.
That's like his favorite fucking thing to discuss, bro. I swear.
Dude, he could even do like the grizzly noises for us.
Yeah, he's good at it, bro.
It's scary how good he is. It's weird. He's good at doing like lion noises, bear noises. I don't know if Joe's real. He might be a bear in disguise, bro.
Yeah. No, that guy's an alien for sure.
He has to be. You ever seen how intense he looks at fighters when they're doing stare downs?
Oh, yeah.
He gets right up in their fucking face. But it's like a scowl. He's like,
yeah.
Moving side to side. Like,
yeah.
Dude. He's an intense person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, goodness gracious. We got way off the conspiracy realm. Folks, it's okay to talk about fun shit every once in a while, too. We don't have to be all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you got to ponder the age-old question, grizzly versus gorilla.
Yeah. That's what I kind of said when we started this. Was like, every once in a while, let's talk about fucking Sasquatch.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh, speaking of, bro. Speaking of, what do you think Sasquatch is?
Probably an interdimensional being that somehow was gifted the powers to tap in between realms and fuck with us a little bit.
Yeah.
If it's real.
I like that.
How the fuck has no one caught one?
Right.
I think they can probably step between realms, you know?
Almost instantaneously.
Like dwarves.
Ooh, or elves.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Damn. That makes a lot of sense. And I've heard that before. Fucking
yeah.
Bigfoot's an interdimensional time traveler.
Yeah, literally.
Something very compelling that I heard recently. This guy, Thomas the Paranoid American, he has a podcast. He's great.
Yeah, you told me about him.
He's a Freemason, 32nd degree. But he also does like comics and shit. He started out at Disney. I think I told you about it during the Disney episode.
Yeah.
But he's really good at like writing stories, and he does these like conspiracy comics. I gotta buy a copy for you because it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's hilarious. And it like it's very informative about these conspiracies, and it's like a comic book spin to it. It's awesome.
Right.
But they were talking about Bigfoot and what that might represent. And there was this guy talking about how there's a pungent smell,
Yeah.
like a rancid, specific smell you get when Bigfoot's around. And you know
Mhm.
where I've heard that same trope is with demons.
Demons, aliens, all that
Yes,
bullshit. It's
this
all the same.
this pungent, horrible smell that comes
Yeah.
when a demon's there. And I just thought that was, and I don't even really know what a demon is because they're not clear
Right.
in the Bible. You just know it's not good.
Yeah.
I think it's these fallen, these disembodied fallen, and these
Yeah.
Nephilim.
It's a fallen angel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just thought that was so compelling. I feel like personally, and especially since doing all this Nephilim research, I feel like he is a disembodied Nephilim spirit
Yeah.
that can materialize.
Yeah.
It's I don't know yet. I
Something
gotta
like that for sure.
I gotta smell it first.
There are real, true believing Bigfoot experts out there. And when you watch them on TV, it's just comedy and it just is so out there, but they really do hardly, full-heartedly believe that he's real.
Yes.
And some of the shit that they discover and like write down, like there's like the basics to Bigfoot,
Hmm.
and all that shit is so like it's really scary.
It's creepy.
There's like different categories of the way it will yell back at you, and like
Yes.
sometimes it imitates human voices,
I've heard that.
like a skinwalker, but not like a skinwalker how they will just imitate you and copy you and make you think it's a person. Like Bigfoot will be like, "Go," like
Jesus.
shit like that.
Yell a human word at you with his Bigfoot voice.
Yeah.
Good Lord. That would terrify me. Do you know
Yeah.
who Steve Ranella is?
Uh-uh.
So he's a hunter. He does the show Meat Eater.
Oh, okay. I do know exactly who that is then.
Yeah, he has a pretty compelling Bigfoot story.
Yeah.
And he said he just heard it. But he was
Yeah.
up in Alaska and he fucking heard an ape.
Yeah.
Like, like
Yeah.
off in the distance. And he's like, that's nothing that is from
Yeah.
up here. And I don't know, it's just so compelling to think about. And you hear it from all over. There's the skunk ape in Florida.
Yeah.
They talk about it up in Canada. The Pacific Northwest is one of the biggest places that gets reports from it.
Uh-huh.
Oregon, and then up through what is that? Toronto's right up in there.
Yeah. Washington.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just so weird to think about it being all over the place. There has to be some interdimensional facet to it because for it to be real and for us to never have found it, especially with how nice phones are and we have fucking infrared,
Oh yeah.
like we would find it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yes. But yeah, there's got to be some sort of paranormal or esoteric factor to them,
Yeah.
which
Sick.
makes me even more stoked about Bigfoot.
I know.
Yeah, Bigfoot was already cool when he was just a monkey, but now it's like, oh, he's even cooler than a
He's
monkey,
fucking
dude.
Sassy the Sasquatch, that YouTube series. So funny.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
awesome. And this Australian guy made a series of Sassy the Sasquatch, and it's poorly animated, but it's like really good because of that.
Yeah, it's like
And
handwritten or hand drawn, so
yeah,
fucking funny.
yeah, dude, I love it. So
Is
he's like an all-powerful fucking Sasquatch.
yeah,
He lives in all kinds of different realities and stuff. It's really cool.
I love it. Well, and it's like he's probably getting pretty close to what the real take of Bigfoot is,
Yeah,
you know? I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that made it, but
yeah.
he did it was like Scooby Doo characters. Have you
Uh-huh.
seen this one?
I think
And like
so.
Shaggy's out under the stars and he's like, the glass was just in the real pocket. And he's like whispering to him.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, here, let me pack you some Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he hands it over and Fred's all, he's like, who are we listening to? And he's all,
Yeah.
Steve? Look at Steve? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It's
Yeah.
so good, dude.
Yeah.
Best comedy style. For anybody looking for it, look up Sassy the Sasquatch.
Yeah. It's
It's
awesome.
good stuff. It's reminiscent of like OG YouTube back when they would do like um I can't remember what the name of the show was, but they're just like silly animations, but
Yeah.
then these like adult premises and just hilarious.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was the golden age of YouTube. The
You ever
golden.
watch Charlie the Unicorn?
Um,
Charlie.
yes.
We're going to
Yes.
Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Oh my God, that's hitting core memories, bro. Oh my
You
God.
got that. You got salad fingers.
Salad fingers fucked me up for a
Oh,
solid
dude,
week.
that shit is awful.
Gave me nightmares, bro. When I was a little kid, I saw it way too early.
Yeah,
And it's just so uneasy. Like
yeah,
I didn't have the phrasing for it when I was younger, but it's a bad trip
yeah.
is what
It
salad
is.
fingers is. It's bad trip vibes. And
Yep.
I didn't know what that was until I tripped and then I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh God."
that's what that is.
Yeah, dude. Terrifying. Made you so uneasy.
Yeah.
Similar to old Greg. It's like
Yep.
that same kind of stuff.
Yep.
Do you like me?
Yeah.
I like you. So creepy, bro. Oh, the golden age though.
Yeah.
Seriously. That was when YouTube was popping.
Oh yeah.
Man. Now YouTube is just a money laundering pit for Google, I bet.
Literally.
They just funnel all their AI money into it
Yeah.
as
It's
ad
ass.
revenue.
It's ass, bro. You can't find any good content anymore.
No. No, after Rogan left, that was the last good content on there.
Yeah.
That's the last one. Man.
All right, brother.
I think it's that time, Avery.
Yeah.
I think we covered everything.
I think we did. I think we're done for forever.
We got, yep, this is the end of the podcast, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Oh shit. No, no, folks. You have to hear
Absolutely
our
not.
voice for a lot longer.
Yes.
We ain't going nowhere.
I'm not
I'm
fucking
not
leaving.
fucking leaving. Oh, I love it. Oh, love we're on the same wavelength with that shit.
Yes, sir.
That's too good. Well, folks, we did talk about a lot today. We talked about Tartaria. I'm gonna do like a little Dora recap for you.
Yeah.
All right. Talked about Tartaria. We went into it about the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Talked a little bit about the United States, the Constitution, that you're in a tax farm.
Yep.
And then we finished it off good with some dessert, baby. Some fucking
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Yes. Hell yeah.
That's what it's all about. I love it. It's
rounded.
yes. Yes. That's the mark of a true conspiracy theorist. You can bounce from topic to topic.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Folks, thank you for listening. If you're still listening, you might have left after we started talking about mud floods. I know it's a little much for me too, but
Yeah.
bear with us. I'm gonna learn more about it and I'll teach you more about it. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what we're here for. In the meantime, while I'm doing Tartaria research, you have some research to do. How to give 5 stars.
Yeah.
Okay. Because nobody's doing it. No 5 stars are coming in. And
Psych, you don't need to do your research. Cameron's going to tell you how to do it right now.
Amen. It's super, super simple. It's very simple. Wherever you listen to podcasts, there's a button with a star on it. Give us 5 of them. Okay. Jesus. I don't know. I have to explain it to you guys. Good Lord. No. Hey, we appreciate you guys with or without the 5 stars.
Yes.
But we know who you are. It's not giving 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not getting any Tooth Fairy money this year. That's
Nope,
what
no
I think.
stickers for you either.
Nope. Yes, join the Patreon, god damn it. We have episode 17 on there that got labeled as misinformation, medical misinformation. So you know we're getting close to the target.
Yep.
So either that
Absolutely.
or YouTube's like, God, these kids are so fucking stupid. This can't
Literally.
It's somewhere in the middle, folks. And we're gonna leave that up to you, I guess.
Yep.
I love it. Avery, you're
Yes,
the
sir.
man, buddy. Good chatting with you.
You too, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good night, folks.